What if the reason your legs go numb, your lower back aches, and you can't focus past 2 p.m. isn't how long you're sitting, but the chair that's doing it to you? Okay, I need to start with something a little embarrassing. For 2 years, I genuinely thought the tingling in my legs during long work sessions was just normal. Like that was just what happened when you sat for a long time. I'd stand up, shake it out, sit back down, keep going. I thought I just needed to take more breaks. Nobody told me that leg numbness while sitting is a direct sign that your chair is cutting off circulation behind your knees. Nobody told me that the dull ache I had in my lower back every evening wasn't from stress. It was from a chair that wasn't supporting my spine correctly. Not once. I found out after buying the UPLIFT Pursuit Ergonomic Chair. And honestly, it changed the way I understand what sitting is supposed to feel like. This is my 90-day review. No scripts, no talking points, just what actually happened. Let me set the scene. I work from home full-time, content strategy and copywriting. On an average day, I'm in my chair for 9, sometimes 10 hours. It's not optional. The job requires it. My previous chair was a mid-range gaming chair I bought 3 years ago for about $280. At the time, it seemed like a lot to spend on a chair. It looked aggressive and cool, and the brand had good marketing. What it didn't have was any real ergonomic engineering. The lumbar pillow that came with it was basically decorative. The armrest could only move up and down, no width adjustment, no angle adjustment. So I spent years with my shoulders slightly elevated trying to reach my keyboard at a comfortable angle. My neck was constantly forward because the headrest hit in the wrong place. And the seat itself. After about 18 months, the foam had compressed enough that I could feel the hard base underneath. The edge of the seat dug into the back of my thighs for hours every day. That was the circulation problem. I just didn't know it yet. I started researching ergonomic chairs seriously about 5 months ago. The UPLIFT Pursuit kept showing up. Amazon's choice, consistent ratings, and a design philosophy that looked genuinely different from what I'd been using. What I actually wanted was deceptively simple. I wanted to sit for 8 hours and stand up feeling like a normal human being. Not stiff, not numb, not achy, just fine. I wanted a chair that fit my body, not some average body the manufacturer designed around. I'm not a standard shape. My torso is longer than average, my legs are on the shorter side, and I run warm. Meaning mesh chairs had always appealed to me in theory, but I'd never invested in one properly. The Pursuit had something I hadn't seen described quite this way before. A recline glide motion that tilts from a point near your hips rather than from the front of the seat. That one detail changed everything about how I understood chair mechanics. Every cheap chair I'd ever owned tilted from the front edge, which meant leaning back lifted my feet off the floor and cut off circulation at the thighs. The Pursuit's design keeps your feet planted, naturally, without you having to think about it. I also wanted the mesh back for airflow. I work in a home office that runs warm, and the fabric back chairs I'd tried before were just miserable by afternoon. And the waterfall seat edge, the front of the seat curves downward instead of pressing flat into the back of your legs. That was the direct answer to the circulation issue I hadn't been able to name. Here's where I have to be honest. $489 stopped me, not because I couldn't afford it, but because I'd spent money on chairs before and had been disappointed. Fool me once, right? I spent 3 weeks in comparison mode. I looked at Herman Miller Aerons, I looked at Steelcase, I looked at everything in the $300 to $600 range. And what I kept coming back to was that the Pursuit offered a specific combination. Height-adjustable arms, adjustable back height, adjustable headrest, synchro tilt mechanism, mesh back, waterfall seat, recline glide motion. At a price point where competitors were cutting at least 2 of those features. When it arrived, assembly was straightforward, about 20 to 25 minutes. The chair came largely pre-assembled and the instructions were clean. No frustration. The first time I sat in it, I'll be honest, it felt different in a way that took adjustment. The seat is firmer than the plush foam gaming chairs I was used to. For the first 2 or 3 days, I kept second-guessing myself. Is this actually better or just different? That doubt evaporated by the end of week 1. The firmness isn't a flaw, it's the point. Foam that's too soft compresses unevenly and creates pressure points. The fabric seat on the Pursuit supports your weight consistently across the surface instead of sinking you into a bowl. The first time I leaned back in this chair during a long thinking session and felt my feet stay completely flat on the floor. That was the moment I understood what the recline glide mechanism actually does. Every chair I'd owned before, leaning back meant either lifting my feet or consciously planting them. This chair just moves with you. The seat glides backward as the back tilts, and because of the synchro tilt, the seat tilts at a lower rate than the back. Your body stays in a natural position throughout the entire range of motion. You don't have to brace anything. You don't have to think about it. I adjusted the back height until the lumbar support landed exactly where my lower spine needed it. I moved the headrest up to actually cradle my neck instead of pushing my head forward. I widened the armrest to match my shoulder width and angled them slightly inward so my forearms rest naturally without pulling my shoulders up. For the first time, my setup was fitted to my body instead of me contorting my body to fit the setup. By the end of week 2, I noticed I was reaching for ibuprofen less. The afternoon leg tingling was gone, completely. Not reduced, gone. The waterfall seat edge makes a physical difference that you feel immediately if you've been dealing with circulation issues and just didn't know what was causing them. The mesh back kept me comfortable on warm afternoons in a way no fabric or foam back chair ever had. I stopped getting up just to cool down. That sounds small. It recovered probably 30 to 40 minutes of lost work time per day. 90 days in. Here is what is genuinely different. Leg numbness, completely gone. I don't think about it anymore. The waterfall seat edge solves something I had been living with for years and just accept it as normal. It's not normal. It's a design flaw in the furniture, not a problem with your body. Lower back pain, reduced by what I'd estimate is 80 to 90% during work hours. My evenings feel different. I'm not unwinding from physical discomfort anymore. I'm just done with work and present for the rest of my day. Focus and work duration. I'm logging longer uninterrupted focus blocks than I have in years. There's a direct relationship between physical comfort and cognitive performance that I intellectually understood but didn't feel until this chair. The build quality at 90 days. The mesh is tight, the aluminum components show zero wear, the fabric seat looks and feels the same as day one. The adjustment mechanisms all operate exactly as they did when I first set it up. Nothing has loosened, nothing has creaked, nothing has degraded. The UPLIFT Pursuit retails at $489 and ships from UPLIFTDESK directly with a 30-day easy return window. That return window matters. It tells you the company is confident you're going to keep it. And here's the reframe that settled it for me. I was spending $499 like it was a lot of money for a chair, but I was already spending $50 a month on a chiropractor I was seeing for back and hip issues I'd attributed to exercise and stress. 3 months later, I haven't been back. Do that math. If you work from home, if this chair is where you spend the majority of your waking hours, it deserves to be engineered for your body. Not just functional, actually engineered. The link to the UPLIFT Pursuit Ergonomic Chair in black is in the description below and pinned as the first comment. That's the exact configuration I use every day. If you have specific questions about fit, height range, arm width, whether it works for longer torsos, anything, drop a comment. I'm genuinely happy to answer because I spent weeks researching this before buying, and I know how much that kind of specific detail helps. Hit like if this gave you something useful. It helps the algorithm surface this for people who are literally sitting in the same bad chair I was in 6 months ago.